Hello, I'm Monica, a civil engineering student at the University of Manchester.
Hi, I'm James, alumni of the University of Manchester and an Associate Director at Wild Consultants.
And this is Civil Engineers Look Like This. So we are civil engineers.
Well, I am, but you are soon.
Well, I still haven't decided what kind of civil engineers I want to be yet.
Well, that's absolutely fine. That's the beauty of the industry, is that there are so many possibilities for you to fit in with civil engineering however you want, from managerial to technical.
That's so true. And we're going to be walking through a couple of looks today on what civil engineering involves.
Let's go. Okay, so this is a typical image that people think of when you say civil engineering.
Oh yeah, the typical hard hats, the high-vis, all of the contracting and construction.
Exactly, and it's these guys that make the project a reality once it hits site.
And these are also the civil engineers that deal with problems as they crop up, right? Like, for example, if the ground isn't what the survey said it was, or if the weather is not ideal, they just have to work through things, right?
Exactly. There are loads of instances of unforeseen or occurrences that are out of anyone's control that can happen on site, and they just have to work around them.
Definitely. But like nowadays, with the evolution of the technology, are digital tools really like changing how the way things work in civil engineering?
Exactly. Technology has come a really, really long way, and it's these advances in technology that enabled us as engineers to deliver projects on an absolutely massive scope. For example, we've got one here, the Queensferry Crossing Bridge, which is the longest cable-stayed bridge in the world.
I did not know that.
With a length of over 1.7 kilometres.
That's impressive. What about this one over here? It kind of looks like a dam.
So that's the Three Gorges Dam in China.
I see.
The largest hydropower project ever built. I believe it's so big that it slowed the Earth's rotation fractionally, which means our days are ever so slightly longer.
That's really cool.
So these two projects would have been delivered by a multidisciplinary team of civil engineers with specialisms in hydraulics, geotechnics, structures, and mechanics.
Oh wow, it's an impressive job with great responsibility, really.
And these are just two examples of what we do.
This picture looks a bit different. There's no hard hats or high-vis inside. Is this what you do?
Exactly, yes. This image is a typical image of what it might look like in a design consultancy office. So we've got somebody presenting some information to colleagues, normally presenting on screen. They might be showing some drawings or some other information. Wow. And we're basically brainstorming and discussing and designing.
So I guess this is where all of my experience with team building and creativity from lectures come into play.
Exactly, and there's really no limits on what types of projects you could be working on, ranging from designing a bridge or designing a drainage system for a new sustainable park.
And also with climate change in mind, is minimizing carbon footprint important?
Absolutely, that's one of the main factors and considerations that go into the design.
Oh, for example, like in Japan, you know how their structural engineers, they actually design buildings that flex during earthquake, or in Nepal where they design like a gravity-fed system so that communities who didn't have clean water before now do.
And also in Bogota, where they designed an entire rapid transport network.
Oh, wow. So essentially, as a designer, you're shaping things way before like anyone breaks ground?
Exactly, yes, and that's one of the most rewarding parts about my job, actually, is that finally when the project hits site, you get to see all your thoughts and ideas coming to life. Cities and urban infrastructure. That's a good one because nobody really notices it until something goes wrong.
That's true. Some infrastructure is just invisible until it isn't. Like, for example, the road. You don't really notice that it's there until there's like potholes everywhere.
Exactly. So it's not only just roads, but it's bridges, tunnels, sewers, water mains, electric cables, all sorts make up the urban infrastructure.
Oh, and viaducts. We've actually recently had a 12-week modules on how viaducts are important in like cities and urbanization.
So one of the greatest challenges after a project has been built is maintaining it and keeping it fit for purpose in the future. So we've got engineers in New York who are maintaining water tunnels built over 100 years ago. And we've got engineers in Mumbai that had to completely rethink their stormwater system after catastrophic flooding.
Yeah, and all of that is happening while people are still going on about their daily lives, you know. You don't see the engineers, but you definitely notice them when they aren't there. Ah, so this is coastal and marine environments. This one feels more urgent to me because this is civil engineering at like the front line of climate change.
That's exactly what it is. So with climate change, rising sea levels, the more intense and frequent weather events, we as engineers must start to design infrastructure that's going to protect people. The Netherlands Delta Works is probably the most famous example of this, a whole series of storm surge barriers and flood defences that basically makes the Netherlands a viable place to live. And we have this project in Venice, which consists of movable flood defence barriers that protect the whole lagoon city.
Wow, but that's just like the coastal engineering side. What about the inlands?
So climate change has a great effect inland too, with issues such as slope stability and landslides also coming into effect.
That's really interesting because we actually recently learned about this in my geotechnics module. There were a lot of math and equations involved, but it's a very important subject that cannot be missed.
Transportation systems, the very thing that connects us all.
Yes, the highways, the railways, airports, ports, those are all things that are very essential in our daily lives, and they have to be safe, durable, and sustainable.
Exactly. Have you seen China's high-speed rail network? It's really impressive. Over 40,000 kilometres of track and trains travelling over 200 miles per hour.
Oh yeah, I've actually heard about it. The precision engineering required in this project has never been done before. Civil engineers have achieved so much in this regard, you know. They have built airports on reclaimed lands, which is structural and geotechnical engineering pushed to their limits. At the other end, you have projects like the Crossrail, the Elizabeth Line in London, where you're tunneling under one of the most historically layered cities on Earth, threading a new railway system through existing infrastructure, utilities and foundations which are centuries old.
People rarely connect the dots, but transportation systems are all about merging geotechnical engineering, structural engineering, mechanical engineering and urban engineering all together in one, plus incorporating the data layer between those.
Yeah, that's actually what we are taught in our seminars. The professors told us that civil engineers are working increasingly with digital tools such as digital twins, real-time monitoring and sensors, all to manage infrastructure more intelligently and sustainably. Actually, I do have like a field course coming up as part of our degree course where we have to use Dumpy level to record data of elevations, and we have to plug those data into a computing software to analyze it.
Yeah, so I actually remember going on that field trip when I was in second year. It taught me a number of skills that I was able to use in industry straight away, including how to manage and analyse data and also how to build team working skills.
Yeah, I'm really glad to know that the skills I'm currently learning in university will benefit me later when I enter industry. So, what does a civil engineer look like?
Well, all of what we've been through and much more.
Because you get to decide what kind of civil engineer you want to be.